Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another CounterSide video. Alright, Global is getting pretty huge buff as well. So whatever happened in C server this week, Global is getting some of it. And plenty of cool things coming back in Global. One of it is Awakened Mina rerun. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys have questions and you might want to ask me, hey, should you pull for Awakened Yumina? So let's talk about it, alright? Okay, so as you guys can see, a 4th of August patch notes, we have plenty of things happening in Global this week. This is going to happen tomorrow. So let's talk about Awakened Yumina rerun. So this is the second rerun in Global, which is, I think, a really good sign. That shows that if you miss an Awaken, there's a chance that they're gonna rerun pretty quickly. Alright, so you can see Awakened Hilde was having her rerun recently, right? The first one, and Awakened Yumina is the second one. And if they follow this pace, Awakened Yuna would have a rerun as well. So on maybe the third one, if they're following like the order. So hopefully, if you guys are struggling in Shadow Hall, Shadow Palace, Awakened Yuna is something that you have to look out for. So let's talk about Awakened Yumina. Should you pull for her? Now obviously, a lot of players have come to me and asked me, hey, I noticed you never recommend Awakened Yumina before, but she's really strong in PvP, right? So why is that, right? The reason is because Awakened Yumina, she's strong in PvP, but in PvE, ideally compared to Awakened Yuna, compared to Awakened Lee Suyon, for example, those two characters are gonna get much more usage in PvE. Now Awakened Yumina, I'm not saying that she's not usable in PvE, she's just much more stricter in terms of the contents that she can tackle. Alright, you can obviously use her in the Danger Close. Obviously, she's probably the strongest right there. If you're fighting the Moderator Boss A or Moderator Boss B, for sure, Awakened Yumina is going to be extremely strong right there. But she mostly shines in PvP. In PvE, you don't really need her per se, but she has one major issue in a couple of stages that makes her, like, I wouldn't say useless, but it's harder to use her, which is her ability to not be able to hit air, right? So Awakened Yuna and Awakened Lee Suyon doesn't have that weakness. They both can hit air, while Awakened Yumina can't. So yeah, sure, you can fight ground units, but that's going to be an issue much more later on. Like if you guys have noticed, once you reach Shadow Palace 3, you'll see there's a lot of air enemies. So that's going to be the struggle. If you have like Awakened Yumina, you know, you might not be able to, perform well in those stages. So keep in mind, she's still really strong. I still highly do recommend her, but one thing that you also want to pay attention to is the anniversary rewards. This is going to be a little bit of a crazy talk, right? Because it's going to be 1 year ahead, right? But in C server, eventually, after 1 year anniversary, we all get this, which is an Awakened Hilde and Awakened Yumina selector. So I will assume similar rewards will be given out to Global. Maybe Global will get something better even. But just keep in mind, this is going to be the bare minimum that you will at least get an Awakened Hilde and Awakened Mina selector. So if you're someone that like cares more about collecting like all the Awakened rather than having them early on, this is something that you can, keep in mind about, that you might not have to pull for Awakened Mina because eventually you will be able to select them. So just to give you guys the heads up, I know that's going to be a long way ahead, like Global 1 year anniversary, that will be like what? We still have like 11 more months, 12, 10 more months. But hey, something to keep in mind about if you're playing this game long term. Alright, so moving on, Ifrit. Now I've talked about Ifrit a couple of times. I don't think I want to go too much detail into him. Is Ifrit a must pull? Yes, she is really strong. I will address Ifrit as a she because it has a female voice, right? So Ifrit by far is one of the best striker in the game. Alright, so why is she strong, right? Just to give you guys a context, she's a 3-cost burst damage DPS. She will definitely do the most damage for a 3-cost. Alright, if you compare to all the other strikers out there, right, she will definitely do the most damage. She's a striker that stays at the back, which is also pretty cool. She has anti-defender and anti-striker damage bonus. She is pretty tanky, immune to hit stun when she has a shield. Right, the only counter to Ifrit is Awakened Nayubin, which will shield reflux her, which is why for Ifrit, ideally, my advice is do not upgrade your skill. If you're using Ifrit in PvP, please don't upgrade your passive skill to level 5. Alright, that's something that you want to keep in mind. Relatively, this is going to affect a lot of things. Mine is still, like you can see, is still level 4. I didn't upgrade this skill to level 5. So if you care about PvP, consider not upgrading this skill to level 5. If you don't care about PvP, sure, go ahead. But some people actually pull for 2 Ifrit even. I don't suggest that for free to play, alright? If you want to pull for 2 Ifrit, build 2 different ones, one for PvE and one for PvP, you can do that. But hey, that's only for whale, right? There's no other replacement like for a lot of stage that needs burst DPS. Ifrit is just one of the best character in the game, period. Alright, so until the rearm comes out, Ifrit won't be replaced. I think he does more than Xiaolin overall, which is crazy. After Xiaolin got rearmed, that's going to be a different story. But for now, Ifrit is going to have your burst DPS. She's like the go-to, right? If you're not sure what character to bring into any stage, and you need a firepower, just bring Ifrit. So that's going to be a solution. Now, STRAT and Taras, I've talked about this in a separate video. My advice is not to pull for them, not because that they are bad. Taras is pretty decent, very good for raids and stuff. STRAT though, it's not such a good sniper to have. Alright, this is a sniper tank. One of the main reasons to not pull for them, like I mentioned in the previous video, is because eventually they will be available in the side story. You can farm for STRAT and Taras shards. Alright, so hopefully keep that in mind, right? So that's something that is important. Now, Operator Monica, again, my advice is to never pull for Operator. If you guys are free to play, please avoid pulling for Operator. Just buy them straight up with your Task Planet mall points. That's the only usage of them. Alright, for those currency, you shouldn't use to buy those. I know there's a lot of other things that you can buy, but you shouldn't use to buy other things. It's not worth it. Alright, so you can see a Grand Surefire effect on all allies and increase their crit damage. This is pretty cool. Surefire means that you will never miss. If enemy has like high evasion and stuff, you will never miss. But the thing is, the activation requirement is a bit tricky. Ranger, Defender, and Sniper, right? And also one thing about Monica is she's quite niche, right? Ideally in a lot of PvP stages, having something like Serena Crew or having something like what's the other one? A Sigma is going to be much more impactful overall. Having a shield that cannot be removed. Surefire is not something that is going to be that strong, but I guess once Nayubin comes, that might be a different story. But either way, I wouldn't suggest pulling for her anyways. If you really want, you can get her. But my advice is you should still always get Kim Hana. That should be your first operator, followed by, if you want to focus a little bit more in PvP, I feel like Sigma is going to be the better operator by far. Alright, so this one, I want to talk about this, the set binary package for 3,750 admin coins. Now this one is actually pretty good value. A lot of people have asked me in my the video of how to spend. People have been asking me, hey, you said the best thing to buy in this game is to buy counterparts. Yes, but what's the second best thing? It's ideally these things. These things, the set binary packages, set binaries, you guys have been playing the game for 1 month now. I hope you guys are aware that these things cannot be farmed. They are really, really rare. So the only way to get them fast and to get your equipments tuned up fast to get the proper like skill haste, attack speed, etc. is to have these things, and a lot of them, because there's no PT when you're tuning binaries, your set option, right? So this one has insane value. Now in the game, if you guys are not aware, there's this thing that has pretty good value, but it's not comparable to this one. This permanent package under the gear, you can see the weekly set binary package that you can buy 3 times a week. This one will give you 80 gold binaries. So essentially, you know, based on the calculation I've done here, if you buy this one, you're actually paying 20 AC, 20 admin coins per gold binary. Whereas for the discounted, for this particular package that we are having soon, you're only paying 12.5 admin coins per gold binary, which is way more efficient. So this is actually a very good package. I would highly recommend, if you are a paying player, either Dolphin or Whales, this is the one that you want to go for. Like anytime you see this, like not just right now, in the future as well, right? This is going to be something that's worth buying, because you're buying for something that you cannot farm. Alright, so everything else, like for example this one, you can buy this if you want, right? But this one can be farmed. You know that you can farm this every day, and every single weekend, I think the challenge will have this binary package, the binary challenge stage as well, that you can farm all of this. Yes, it takes time. You can get it to buy more. But this one is just way more worth it because it's something that you cannot farm, and it's just way harder to farm, right? So far right now, you can buy 50 from the Shadow Palace. That's about it. Now, this one, of course, like if you're pulling for Awakened characters, sure. Okay, so now to the good part. Strategy battle is gonna get a rework. So a lot of you guys might like strategy battle more than rank battle. So strategy battle is the way to go if you only care about, you know, getting the currency for the gauntlet points. Now, it's going to be similar now. You can manual if you want to. So when you manual, you're fighting an AI. So compared to rank battle when you're fighting other players. So this is still going to be fun, I think, at least for me. I do enjoy the PvP in this game, but I think not everybody shares the same opinion, which is fine. But if you don't want to fight other players, you can also fight NPC players or NPCs in general, right? So I think you get less points. I'm not sure. I need to see how it works overall. But ideally, strategy battle, can be more fun, I think, for a lot of players. And you will also be able to get bonuses depending on your win streak, it seems. And you have the ability to revenge as well, which is pretty cool. Alright, if you want to, you can do that. And you can see more details right here for strategy battle before and after, and NPC battle mode, revenge battle mode, and defensive squad that you can set every single day. 75 points still per battle. One more thing is trophy inventory. I've talked about this. If you guys are not aware, we have this thing called the trophy, right? And that will be on a separate tab. Look at this. So this will no longer take your spots in the units alongside here, and it means you will have more space. And this should be how it is, in my opinion, right? You don't want to take the same space of your character inventory. So having trophies separated, just like ships and operators, that should be how it is, right? So your preset save is expanded from 5 to 10 for the lobby. Employee placements increased from 5 to 6. And now you can touch and drag employees on screen for customization. Alright, so operator voice is added as well, right? So maximum deployment cost reach in battle. So you can see they add operator voices when battle start, maximum deployment cost reach, a start of each wave of enemies, when time remains, when ship skill is available. So they will add operator voice to all of these conditions, which is pretty cool. I like it. Consortium check-in as well. Alright, you will be able to automatically check in right now. There's no more like you have to manually check in. Now they added 5 effects right now. You can see silence, stealth, detection, immortal, instant finish, and dispel. Alright, so guides for raid boss is added. CEOs will be able to read the guides while forming a raid squad. Alright, so time stop rule for awakened units is fixed a little bit. Apparently it's a bit buggy. 1-to-1 chat system is added, and Alex is added to the recruit on demand pool. Alright, so overall plenty of good things for global as well, plenty of adjustments, plenty of quality of life. Now this is always appreciated because KR just got this like last week or 2 weeks ago, which is insane. And the fact that C gets it, global gets it almost instantly, right? I do appreciate it. Studio B-Side is definitely doing a good thing. And yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for Ifrit pulls tomorrow. Today, later on, I'll be streaming as well. I'll try to do some Grammary pulls for C server. Take care. Alright, so if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. And yeah, any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.